Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Another dreadful performance by Man United. Another shocking, one of the most shocking performances I've seen in my life as a United fan. I've never seen a team play this badly. 4-0 defeat to Brentford. And it probably should have been way more. Way more. It's gone to a level that this is not fixable anymore. This is actually not fixable. You need to sell. The whole team needs to be sold. There's not a single player good enough to be playing for this club. They're all fucking dreadful. They are all dreadful. There's no way you can tell me how bad this team is. I knew it from the start of the fucking window that if they don't bring 5, 6, 7, 8 players in, there's no way we're fucking competing for anything this season. It's going to be a massive. It's going to be a relegation battle the way this is going. Right now, United are 20th. They are 20th in the Premier League. 20th. 2-0. Conceding 4 goals in 30 minutes against Brentford. This is the worst United I've seen in my whole entire life. The players they're done. They don't want to play. It's done. They haven't been able to play for 4 managers. Why are they still here? Why is Maguire still starting? I don't get this. Why is Fred still here? Why is Shaw still here? Why is Dalot the starting right back of this club? Why is Ericsson starting as a defensive midfielder? I do not get this. De Gea, oh my god, De Gea today, oh my god. There's not a single player good enough. There's not a single player good enough. It's fucking dreadful how shit this club is. How far they've fallen. Because they have fallen very far. It just keeps on getting worse and worse with each year. It's dreadful. The Glazers need to sell the club. Something needs to happen. Because Liverpool next week, it could be 7, 8 goals. It could easily be 7 or 8 goals. It could have been 6 goals for Brentford today. Liverpool are going to destroy United. It's going to be minimum 6 goals. It's going to be an absolute battering. The fans need to keep the stadium empty next week against Liverpool. They need to send some sort of message to the owners, because this is just not good enough. And there's not enough improvements coming in. There's not going to be any players that are going to be joining the club that are going to help the club moving forward. Rabiot is not going to fix anything. Frankie de Jong, if he manages to come in, is not going to fix anything. The club is finished. There's not a right back in the club. Rashford is finished. He cannot play anymore. Bruno hasn't played well for over 8 months. Sancho is nowhere near himself when he played for Dortmund. He's nowhere near. The midfield, oh my god, the midfield, don't get me started on that midfield. Whoever plays there, they're all fucking shit. They're not good enough. Ericsson cannot play as a DM. He's 32 years old. He was a 10. He hasn't been good for the last 5 years. I don't understand why they've signed him. It doesn't make sense to me. Fred is an awful footballer. 0 technical ability. 0 everything. Dreadful player. Not good enough for QPR, let alone United. Dreadful footballer. Scott McTominay is not even a footballer. I'm not even counting him as a footballer. Shaw hasn't played football since 2014 when he broke his leg against PSV. He hasn't played football since then. He's been fucking shit. Dalot is just not good enough. Not good enough. Maguire. Oh my god, Maguire. £80 million on Harry Maguire. Incredible. Incredible. They're spending so badly. £80 million on Maguire, and then you go and spend 60 million on fucking Martinez, who's just has started so badly. He's just looking nowhere. He's nowhere as well. All the signings are absolutely dreadful. They cannot play in this league. I cannot see how Martinez is going to improve. I do not see it. He got bullied today. Absolutely bullied. De Gea, fucking dreadful De Gea. Fucking dreadful. Was one of the best players last season. I don't know what happened to him as well. Letting in goals, laying passes in on goals. Dreadful, dreadful. They try to play out from the back when they are not good enough. Ten Hag needs to be backed. He needs to be backed. Here's the last chance this club has to get back to the top. If this fails, the club is finished. The club is finito, is finished. Let me tweet out the stream a little bit, get some more people in here talking about this dreadful fucking club. This dreadful club. Dreadful fucking club. Incredible how awful they've been. How awful. There's gonna be 3 games with 0 points. This is how next week is gonna go. There's no way this club is even getting a goal against Liverpool, let alone a point. They're not even scoring 1 goal against them. You're conceding 4 against Brentford. 2 against Brighton. You're finished. The club is finished. There's no saving grace anymore. There's no saving grace. If they don't bring in at least 5, 6 good signings, like elite players by the end of the window, the club are going to be fighting to stay in the Premier League. There's no quality in this team. There's nothing special in this team. They're all fucking shit. The midfield is the worst midfield in the Premier League. I'm putting money on it. There's no midfield that's worse than Fred, McTominay, Eriksen, all these fucking awful players. You're signing Christian Eriksen, 32 years old, I think. He has been finished since he left Spurs. The last season at Spurs, he was dreadful. Then he had his heart attack as well in the World Cup. Why are you signing him? What is the point? And you're playing him out of position as well. He's not a DM. He's not a DM. He's a number 10. He was a great number 10 at his prime. He's not at his prime no more. He was going to be a good squad player, I guess, but he's not good enough to be your starting defensive midfielder next to Fred. Fred is dreadful. McTominay is awful. They are not footballers. They are not good enough for anything. They are fucking dreadful, all of them. They're all dreadful. Martinez and Maguire was obviously never going to work. I don't know why you're going to stick with the same two for a second week in a row when they got battered last week by Brighton and Welbeck. And they got fucking peppered today against Brentford. And if this back four stays on for next week against Liverpool, they believe me, they are going to concede 8 goals against Liverpool. Trust me when I say this. This is the worst team in the Premier League right now. They are absolutely nowhere. There's nothing good about this team. There's not one single position when you have a player that's good enough to play in other teams. There's not one fucking player that can play in any other team in the Premier League that's starting right now for Man United. Left back and right back, Shaw and Dalot are just not good enough for the Championship, let alone the Premier League. Shaw hasn't played good football, as I said, since 2014 when he broke his leg against PSV. That's the last time we saw Luke Shaw playing at a good level. Dalot has never been good enough. Has never, ever, ever been good enough. I don't know why he's sticking with him. I don't know why they are not trying to sign a right back. It baffles me how they are not trying to sign a right back when your only option is Diogo Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It baffles me how they are not trying to sign another right back. I do not also understand how is Maguire starting again and again and again and again when you've seen time and time again that the guy is not good enough. He's shown you this so many times and you're sticking with him. It's just so bad from everyone involved in this club. The Glazers need to sell this club immediately. They've ruined this club. They've been at the club for around 17, 18 years, and they've ruined it. Sir Alex Ferguson kept it going for a few years, But right now, the club is years, they are light years behind City, they are light years behind Liverpool. They are starting to be light years behind Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea. We are absolutely nowhere as a football club. We are nowhere. There's nothing to be. There's nothing to be looking forward to with this team. It's gonna be It's gonna be the worst season in the club's history. Right now, they are last, 20th in the Premier League after 2 games, conceding 6 goals and only scoring 1. It's actually insane how far this club have fallen. It's insane to see how far this club have fallen. When 10 years ago you were winning the Premier League, and right now you are absolutely nowhere. The job that this guy here has taken in is it's an impossible job. Obviously, he's made mistakes so far first 2 games, but he hasn't been backed. He was brought in to a team that barely finished 6th, barely, it was so close finishing 7th. They were absolutely dreadful the second half of last season. They were dreadful. And you're not bringing any new signings for the first team. You're bringing a centre back that can also play DM and left back, who is very small. He was never going to be good enough for a starting centre back in the Premier League. He's way too small. There's too much physicality in the Premier League for Martinez to be able to start as a centre half. Try him as a DM, because you have nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle. There's actually nothing in that middle. You have no DM. There's not one single defensive midfielder in this whole club. Not one. And you're trying to sign Adrien Rabiot from Juventus. That's the solution to this shit. Is Adrien Rabiot. You've lost Paul Pogba, and you're going to replace him with a 15 times worse version of Paul Pogba. I do not understand the thinking of the guys running this club. I do not understand the thinking behind all these decisions that are being made. They've chased around Frankie de Jong for 3 months. De Jong doesn't want to come so bad that he'd rather stay at Barcelona where the fans are slagging him off for not taking the pay cut because they do not have enough money to register the players. He'd rather stay there. He'd rather stay there than join this shithole. That should tell you everything. And even if he comes, let's say they announce Frankie de Jong tomorrow somehow. Nothing is fixed. He's not going to fix anything. It's going to be the same shit next week, the same shit the week after. This one signing is not good enough. You need a right back, you need a left back, you need a defensive midfielder, you need another midfielder, you need a left winger, you need a striker. You have nothing at the club. With the squad that they currently have, they are not making the top 10 in the Premier League. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening one bit. There is not a chance they are making top 10 in the Premier League. There's not a chance with the way they've been playing. They are absolutely the worst team in the Premier League right now. By far and away the worst team. There's just nothing else to say. I just hope there's a big movement in the game against Liverpool from the fans, because something needs to change at the club. Something needs to change drastically, because what is going on right now is going to end this club. This football club is going to end. I don't see how they are ever going back to the top. I do not see it. They have fallen so far behind City and Liverpool and every single other club. There's no going back from this. There's no coming back. If Erik ten Hag fails as a manager, the club is finished. There's no way this can be brought back after. This is the last chance the club has to save Man United. Glazers need to sell the club immediately. And stuff needs to change right now. They need to bring in players. They need to bring in elite players in the last 15 days of this transfer window, or we are in serious trouble. We are in serious trouble with a form that we're in at the moment. This is relegation form. This is a form that you're going down with. There needs to be movement. There needs to be changes. This is not good enough. This is absolutely not good enough. That's all I have to